Welcome back. As we look ahead to tonight's debate against President Biden and former President Trump, we're joined now by Republican Florida Congressman Byron Donald, who's also on the short list for Trump's VP pick. Congressman, we thank you so much for joining us tonight. What issues do you think will be most important for voters to hear from Trump during tonight's debate?
Securing our border, making sure that we get these conflicts ended around the globe, reestablishing our dominance and our leadership around the globe, and then, of course, our economy, getting inflation under control in a meaningful and serious way. Those are the core issues that are affecting Americans. That is what they are thinking about. That's going to be the focus of Donald Trump tonight.
The Biden campaign is out with a new ad featuring video from January 6th with law enforcement condemning the riot and former President Trump's involvement. How would you recommend the former president answer questions about the insurrection tonight?
Well, look, January 6th was a very tough day for our country, but Joe Biden has been a disaster for the 4 years since then. Prices, inflation, our immigration process has been a complete disaster. We have young girls in our country who have been raped. They have been murdered by illegal aliens in our street. So Joe Biden can talk about January 6th all he wants, but he has been a disaster for the American people since that day. We must have a change in leadership in the White House, and that man is Donald Trump.
A new 538 poll found that almost exactly the same share of likely voters were considering voting for Biden as Trump, about 44% for each. But 18.5% said that they were considering independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who failed to qualify for tonight's debate. What tone does Trump need to strike in order to get those jump ball voters on board?
Well, it's not about the tone he needs to strike. If you've watched Donald Trump on the campaign trail the last 2 years, he has been very focused on what is ailing the American people and talking about the solutions that are going to fix the issues that Joe Biden has created with their terrible policy in this administration. I think the other thing tonight is you're going to see a stark contrast with what is important to both men. You've already said it. Donald Trump is focused on the American people going forward. Joe Biden is focused on 2020. Joe Biden is focused on all these things in the past that have no bearing on what is happening in the lives of the American people today. I believe that's what the 18% are looking for. And even the 44% of independents who are leaning Joe Biden, I think they're gettable as well, including some soft Democrats who are not happy with the direction of America.
You talked about the terrible policies of Joe Biden. What do you think that Donald Trump needs to highlight in particular about Biden's first term?
And number one, you got to start with our southern border. The Mexican drug cartels now have operational control over the southern border. You can ask any border agent down there. I've been to the border 5 times. That's 5 more times than Joe Biden has been. And that's what they have said directly to me. Number 2, fentanyl trafficking is up massively in our country. The number 1 killer in the United States, men ages 18 to 44, is fentanyl overdose. That is a disaster. That's a catastrophe, all created by Joe Biden. His American Rescue Plan, which injected billions and trillions of dollars into our economy that didn't need it, that created a labor shortage, which created an inflation. Joe Biden doesn't want to talk about that. Those are the things that truly do matter. That's where Donald Trump's focus is going to be. I believe that's going to be the measure of success in this debate tonight.
And Congressman, he hasn't been there 5 times as president, but he has been to the border as he's been president. But I'll move on. You were at an event in Atlanta last night aimed at black voters called Congress, Cognac, and Cigars. And according to the Washington Post, things got pretty intense, including criticisms aimed at your comments about fewer black families being fractured under Jim Crow. What's your goal in trying to suggest that there were positives during Jim Crow? And what's the relevance, really, at this point between Jim Crow and Donald Trump?
Well, look, I'm glad that you asked this. This is important. When we were talking about in Philadelphia, and actually again last night in Atlanta, is talking about that even through the persecution of the Jim Crow era. Persecution, by the way, brought by Southern Democrats, because that's the actual history. Even during that persecution, black families were held together because they were trying to protect themselves, build for themselves. It was actually the Great Society under Lyndon Johnson, the welfare benefit programs that did not want black fathers in homes. That's when you started to see the decline in the marriage rate in black families. It continued even through Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill, eviscerating homes once again. The marriage rate in black families has declined. What you're seeing in America today is a rise in black families, a rise in the marriage rate. That's a good thing for black families, a great thing for our country. But now the fundamental question is, which policy set is going to help these families thrive today and going forward? It's without a question. It is the economic agenda. It is the security agenda. It's the American first agenda of Donald J. Trump, because families are struggling. Right here in Atlanta, you also heard that when I was here talking to black men and black women in this great city here in Georgia.
Congressman Donalds, we thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.